Hello friends and welcome back, or welcome to Venice Sports Shack. And welcome back to another episode of Wing It Wednesday. Today, we're going to talk about the 80% crooks. A lot of you said that there was only 10 to 15%. So we're going to discuss it today. So as always, stand up, stretch out, because away we go. Alright guys, today we're going to go over... I wanted to be serious and go over some things, talk about reasons the hobby doesn't grow. When I throw out there that 80%, I wanted to clarify it because a lot of you are like, well, only 10%, 15%. So we're going to discuss that today. But first, that's right, first, contest. July contest. I was talking about crooks and someone said, I was a crook for giving this Holloway pack away because Topps never made holiday rack packs. Guys, I don't remember who made this. I just bought it a long time ago. It is Topps football cards. And it is a Christmas rack pack. Back in the day, cards weren't important or weren't valuable or weren't looked at like they were today. So just like today when things don't sell, people would buy them up and display them. But it's 100% legit out of some company back a long time ago. It's a 79 football rack pack. When we get to 2000s, we're up to like 1936. I will give this away. Then the national contest. I know I promised I would show you the cards. The national. I've got out of all the cards I've been sending in the last few months, I haven't been getting too many 8s. I have got 5 back. So I'm going to give these away at the National. All you have to do, and I know it's a stupid contest, is come up to me and say, I know it's not great, but I'll take that 8. And then you can choose from one of these 5 cards until they're gone. I've got rated rookie blue, CJ Stroud. A 2022 Donruss Optic, Aiden Hutchinson, rated rookie, numbered out of 299. This Gunnar Henderson rookie base. There's clearly Donruss, the rookies, Stroud. And then this Bryce Young, green wave. They're all PSA 8s. Like I said, if you see me at the National and you want one, all you have to say is, I know it's not great, but I'll take that 8. And then you can pick from whatever you want. So, that's the contest for the National. But let's get to today's topic. I wanted to talk about... kind of like Monday, blended in with Monday, 80% in the hobby, or crooks. I know one of the reasons I do what I do, it's not just to rant. It's not just to stand in the corner, complain. I get out there, guys. I get out there and I do the hobby, and I take the abuse, and I get the phone calls, and So I'm living this hobby so I can explain to you what goes on. Now, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like when I say that there's 80% crooks, but I want to go over that and kind of explain it. And explain to you why the hobby doesn't grow. First, dealers. Now, being in the hobby, doing shows and stuff, I'd learn on my own that if a dealer has a raw card in his case, unless he bought it that day at that show, there's probably something wrong with it. He's probably already reviewed it, seen an issue with it, and doesn't send it off to get graded. Not all the time. But I would say, you're right. That's about... And they don't disclose it. And they won't be honest with you, but that's only about 10 or 15%. So you're right. Only about 10 or 15% of the dealers. Okay. And I thought, well, the reason I brought it up was thieves. That little kid with his dad thieving, the guys in Detroit or Dallas card show thieving. See thieves all the time. Every show I hear about something. So guys, believe it or not, and I'm not even talking about the dollar boxes. We're probably at about 10%, 15%. So you're right. 10, 15% are thieves. Then you look at these hobby influencers. They're out there saying they're not influencers because they don't want to be responsible for the choices that you make. They blame all of you. They blame you average, less than average, above average. It's all your fault if you listen to them. Even though when they do their show, you got all these fancy cards and everything, But 10% of them influencers are lying to you. 10% are crooks. 10% are trying to get your money. So you're right. Only about 10 or 15%. And we come to cleaning cards. Now, I don't think as many people buy Kurt's Card Care and Mr. Minty and all those cleaning products as you think. I think it's narrowed down to probably a lot of contract submitters and a few of the influencers out there, like our buddy Neho. He loves to buy Kurt's Card Care, even though he's just buying it for research. So there's guys out there in the hobby, which I'm going to say probably 10%, 15% of the actual people are cleaning cards. So you're right. Only about 10, 15% are crooks. So then we have the dirty little black box carriers. The BBBs. Black box bastards going through the shows. These guys are rude. They'll go to the newbie dealers, you know, the guys are doing it with their family. And they'll put pressure on them and they'll try to talk fast and twist them up and throw numbers around. About 10 or 15%, you're right, are crooks. It's downright crooks just trying to take your money. And then you got liars. This is my favorite. You got about 10 or 15% out there that cannot tell you the truth no matter what. They can tell you they bought a card for this, sold it for that, did this. It's like a fish story. But you're right. It's only about 10 or 15% of them. And then we got the hobby investors out there. Showing you to buy this card, buy that card, and flip this, do this, that. You're right. A lot of them are just trying to get clicks. But another 10 or 15% of them guys. You're right. Only 10 or 15% are crooks. But set this up, guys. At dealers and thieves and hobby influencers and card cleaners and dirty little black box liars, investors. 10, 15%. That puts you up around 80, 90% of people in the hobby are crooks. And you wonder why the sports card hobby doesn't grow? Because anyone that's above average, I'm always talking about the average and the below average people, they're in this hobby. Because the above average people, when they get in this hobby, they get out. I've seen over a year, people come to the Fort Wayne show, decent, business owning, gentlemen that come with their kids and own car dealerships, big car dealerships, and you talk to them, you're like, hey, I know you. And within 2 months, they're like, this is a joke. The above average people know this will never grow, this hobby. The reason it doesn't grow because the average and the above average people understand that 80% of the people in this hobby are crooks. The whole thing's a joke. There is no money to be made. So, when I talk about crooks, I'm talking about in general. I'm not saying 80% are thieves. I'm not saying 80% of the dealers. No, I'm saying as a whole. Because just because you don't think that what he does is not okay, doesn't make it okay. Or if you think what he does is okay, no, this is all not okay. This is 80% of the hobby right here. And then the other 20%, well, you got 19% collectors just ignoring it. And then you got 1% like me out there trying to tell the other 99% what's going on. So I hope you take it the way I tell it, because it's the truth. It's what I see. It's how I see people treat each other. And it's all because everybody wants to be cool or fit in. And what's sad is you're trying to be cool and fit in on social media. Most of you aren't even getting out into the real world. Bumping into people, shaking people's hands. If you guys knew how many good people I've met in the Midwest, from Cincinnati to Terre Haute, to Lansing, to Findlay, Ohio, to Chicago, Illinois, people that I got in my phone. that I'll text when there's a storm to make sure that they're okay. Hey, did you make it through the storms? Because that's what the hobby's about. The hobby's not about being on social media and flexing your Deshaun Watson and your Zion Williams cards and saying, don't make the same mistake I did. No, guys. Y'all got suckered. Y'all bought into a lie. So I hope you guys will realize this is a hobby and it needs to grow the right way. Now I know a lot of you out there saying, oh, you guys been out of the hobby and get back in the last few years and think you know what's going on. I don't completely know what's going on. But you know what? I know what the hobby started as. I know when it started from its infancy, when cards weren't worth money, when we bought them just to collect them, just to trade them with our friends. Yeah, any of you back then? Any of you remember that? Remember buying cards just because it had gum in it? So I might not know the hobby, but I know what it's supposed to be. So, that's my spiel for today, guys. I hope you realize, I'm not saying everybody, there's 80% of thieves. I'm trying to say there's 80% of crooks. So I hope that explained it a little better. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. Peace. Have a super great day. Why do you really come here?